Ready.
Set.
Gamecast.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and cooking. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the sous chef, Darrian.
Hello.
And the master chef, Teddy Chinaris.
Am I John or am I a chef? You'll never know.
So, Teddy, what gaming-inspired dish are you making for us today?
It's called Super Mario Odyssey cereal. Nailed it. You go to the store, right? Well, step one, you go to the store.
Okay.
And for me, it would be Kroger. For you, it's somewhere different depending on where you live. I mean, it could be Walmart. I mean, that's just like pretty general. It's like everywhere. And then maybe they have it, maybe they don't. Hopefully you get lucky and they have the Super Mario Odyssey cereal. And you pick it up, you check out, and then you drive home. I'll tell you what you do with it later.
Okay. Throughout the podcast, Teddy will be updating you on how to prepare this dish. Okay, so a small note. Due to some scheduling issues, we will now be changing things up. Instead of recording on Sundays, we're recording on Mondays. And because of editing, we won't be able to get it out till Fridays. So if you're wondering why is the podcast not out Tuesday morning, it won't be anymore. It'll be out Friday morning.
And it's probably going to be shorter because Monday night is the night I do schoolwork that's due on Tuesday. And I have 8 assignments that I'm going to do right after this. And math is terrible.
So yeah, we'll be only giving you the best news. None of that half-ass news. But Darren, what have you been playing?
This week, I've been playing League of Legends. Since last we recorded, the new season started, season 8, I think. And I played my placements. I was placed Silver 3, which is way better than I was expecting. So that's awesome. Now I gotta be on gold. Or I gotta climb to gold. But, and then PUBG. I've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I replayed Edith Finch because Bryce and I are supposed to be doing a podcast discussing that.
Bryce is supposed to be doing a podcast right now, but instead he decided to pull out a McDonald's burger. That is McDonald's, right? It looks like McDonald's.
I've been sitting with Bryce for like 45 minutes at this point, and at no time did he leave for enough time to go and get that. So how long has that been sitting out, Bryce?
It's been sitting here since I got home, and then I made a huge ass of myself when I was planning to eat it, so then I couldn't eat it because I'm an idiot.
So now he is eating a burger. What kind of burger is it?
It is a McDouble. I have...
Okay, that's fine.
I could have told you that.
What you should have gotten.
You never eaten at McDonald's?
Big Mac's the jam.
I have 4 McDoubles and 2 McChickens.
What the shit?
And I've already eaten 2 McDoubles and 1 McChicken before, and then I went back for more food.
What? Why? How do you?
He's a monster.
Where does it go?
Into my tummy.
I legit am trying to eat so much less, and I only eat I don't eat that much anymore, and I'm getting fatter the less I eat.
Okay, Darren, what video games have you been playing? I won't eat anymore, I promise.
Was saying, she was in the middle of PUBG, right?
PlayerUnknown's.
Or did you go past
Edith Finch. I said Edith Finch.
Yeah.
And I've also been playing, finally, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
Game sucks! No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to get people's reaction.
Since you have heard about it in the Game of the Year talks, and I'm sure you've said you've had lots of people kind of talk to you about it, what is your impression of the game so far?
There's a lot of stuff to do. To do. Cooking is hard. It's really
cooking jingle,
dumb.
though, makes you happy.
The whole stamina thing makes the game rough.
Just put all your points in stamina. That's what I did until I was going after that Master Sword. Everything in stamina.
Well, I'm not doing that. I'm focusing more on health capsules or heart capsules.
I did
got my
more
first
of the
Divine
focus on
Beast.
stamina, but I still did some health.
I mean, you get enough
I'm
fairies.
alternating.
Like you get
Balance, you know?
you get fairies and stuff like that. Like health is not an issue. Plus, if you die, like
Health is an issue for me. I've literally died more times than hours I've put in the game. So I'm still enjoying it. Like I haven't quit yet. It's not causing me to rage
for
quit.
me too. Heart problems are genetic. Not really, like not yet, but you know, down the road. Anyways,
okay.
That's what I have to look forward to, Teddy. Anyway, it's a lot of fun though. It's really pretty. I keep getting lost when I'm trying to do stuff, and that's how I stumbled upon getting a Divine Beast. I didn't mean to. I was trying to go get like a shrine or something, and I ran into my Azora, and I was like, okay. And then it was like, every time I got to somewhere, they're like, go, do the thing, go there. And I'm like, why? Like, what do you want from me?
That's Fish Dude, right?
It's Ruta. Yeah. Zora's the fish people.
Yeah, the
Ruta's
fish guy
the elephant.
Fish guy had like the whole like group of people looking for you, whereas everybody, the other divine beasts, you kind of like have to seek them out.
Yeah. I accidentally got my first Divine Beast, which is pretty nice.
What's that power again?
It revives you and gives you extra temporary hearts.
Yeah, that one's helpful. The bird one is helpful. The other two, meh. Like there was the one electricity one where you can kind of charge it up and it'll kind of electrocute everything nearby. But that's only
I don't know anything about the other Divine Beasts except that you kept saying, "Hey,
spoilers,
go get the bird one."
Well, it's just a gameplay mechanic. It's not a story mechanic unless you really care of like, ooh, what's the deal? But yeah, I totally recommend.
I have always said that I think gameplay mechanics, spoiling a gameplay mechanic that like an item that you get in the future of like Zelda or something like that is way more of a spoiler than spoiling the story. Because the story doesn't matter and the gameplay is like what you play the game for.
Wow,
right?
you were
like something that like a Divine Beast is something that you get that like changes how you play the game, right? I don't care.
Kind of.
Like Ganon kills, you know, he's evil. I don't know.
I mean,
Zelda's there.
Oh my god, are all the Divine Beasts that hard to unlock?
I mean, they're all the same, but like, because you have the powers, they'll be easier. There was one power that I used one Divine Beast that I used the bird power to just cheat one of the puzzles. I was like, bam. And what's cool about Zelda is you can cheat a lot of puzzles. Like there was one puzzle that I had to.
There was a motion control puzzle that I just flipped it and bounced a ball into.
That's
how everyone says is the solution. Is like flip it.
I have not seen a single.
I remember watching somebody do that.
Stupid, and I was getting mad, and I was just like, ugh! I was like, I turned motion controls off for a reason. This is bullshit.
Yeah, that is how everybody does it. But yeah, like there was Divine Beast or whatever where you have to like get a metal thing into the right slot because it's all electrocuted. But I saw one dude, he just dropped all of his metal weapons, and because that's all conductive, he just laid a path to complete the circuit. Instead of doing it the obvious way.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, the cool thing of the mechanics work so cool together that you can solve puzzles in really creative ways. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of that game in the future. But Teddy, you've played video games.
I have, but the way this math homework is going, I'm gonna be playing a lot less video games in the future. But this last like 2 weeks, I played. Let's start off with like chronological order. Still played some Heroes of the Storm, like that I was talking about last time. I played like a little bit at the beginning of the last 2 weeks, and then I had to leave to go to a wedding in Alabama. And when I came back, I haven't played since, just because I got out of the routine of like playing every night. And still playing Fortnite every now and then. These days on streams, I'll start off with Fortnite. I'll play like 30 minutes. I won't do anything. Like, I'll just fail, and I'll be like, all right, let's switch. Like, I'll just start off, play 30 minutes. Last time, I switched games because I ran into a room. There was a trap on the ceiling, It came down and killed me. I just closed the application and opened Overwatch.
Done.
I was like, all right. I played XCOM 2 on stream for a while, and then I that was the game that the chat and everyone voted for me to like commit to beat, right? And then I decided I don't like that game. As somebody who likes like Fire Emblem and strategy stuff, I thought I would really enjoy it, and the combat I do. I didn't realize how much other like ship management there is in between every mission. Like, you have to go through like 30 minutes of all this crap to get to another combat mission. It's crazy. Like, no one told me this, and I don't think any of the ship management stuff is fun, but I like I only played like 6 hours, I guess, 6 to 8 hours. So I'm not like, I guess I shouldn't say, but like really it should be fun within like the first hour. I played Monster Hunter World. That came out. I only played it for like one night though. I haven't been able to go back just because I've been busy. I played it, I think, Friday night, and then Saturday I played like Fortnite and Overwatch, and then yesterday I didn't play anything, and now I'm doing this. Monster Hunter World is weird because on paper that is a game that should be exactly for me. Like, it's the Destiny World of Warcraft gear loop. Like, it's exactly that, but with unique bosses, like unique monsters. You got to team up with your friends to kill the really hard ones. It's like a game that should exactly be for me, but it's just like, I tried it on 3DS and it was really obtuse and convoluted, and I didn't really like it that much. But I was like going into this one knowing that, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a little more of a shot and maybe I'll like it. So far, I'm having fun with it, and I want to keep playing. So definitely like it better than I thought. And I also played the Sea of Thieves closed beta. That game is hilarious and a lot of fun with friends. I'm still not sure how I'm going to feel about it when it fully comes out, but I'm getting it for cheaper because of the news that we have later, so that doesn't matter as much. And today...
Well, I want to talk... so I haven't played that myself. I'm not in the beta, but I've been seeing people play that.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer aspects look really fun. Like, having the 4-player ship with everybody having the job looks so fun. But I've heard concerns, and from my understanding, like, it's not that fun by yourself, especially because like other players will roll up and you'll get your ass kicked really quick. And I realize it's the beta and there's only like 3 missions, but like I can see the mission aspect getting boring really quick. So I'm not sure how much legs that, unless there's other mechanics, some sort of end game to that experience.
Unless they legitimately have, like, right now, all the stuff that you can get in the beta is, like, outfits, right? Unless they have, at the end, where, like, the voyages, like, for gold, you can buy, like, an actual better gun that, like, holds more bullets and stuff like that. Like, if there's actual upgrades at the end of the gameplay loop of going on the voyages, then there'll be they need to give you a reason to do the voyages, right? Well, like, incentive.
I've seen people being able to unlock gold shovels and gold compasses, and I think I saw somebody get a silver pail, which I assume is better and not just cosmetic.
If there's even like slight reasons to do the voyages, then people will still play, because the voyages are very creative and fun to do with friends.
But once you have that stuff, are you done?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of voyages, is what I'm saying. And they're probably going to set the price of that stuff really high.
It looks a lot of fun if you have a crew, if you have 3 friends to play with. But I'm just, like, I can totally see that game being really fun for 2 weeks, and then, like Destiny. Destiny syndrome is what I'm going to refer to that thing. Well, Destiny 2, of, like, everybody plays right away, and then they put it down.
All right, sure.
I could totally see that happening.
Kind of give you that one, kind of. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's how I feel like I'm gonna play it. But yeah, it's fun. I didn't expect it to be really fun solo. Like, I knew going into it that it was going to be a squad game, so I was like, I don't know. And today, because last night I was being irresponsible with my money again. And I went on Nintendo eShop and I bought Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, because the only thing that XCOM 2 made me want to do was play that game. Because that game's, like, apparently way less of the bullshit and, like, more to the combat stuff. Like, the running around bits is, like, not super fun in Mario Plus Rabbids, but apparently it's, like, pretty quick. And it's on sale. And the sale lasted until, like, Friday. So I was like, I need to just get it while it's, like, $20 cheaper. And I bought Celeste, which is this 2D platformer that apparently has a really, really charming story, has really good music. It controls super well. It's very difficult. It's IGN's first 10 out of 10 review of the year for games, and it was $20. I was like, all right. And I also downloaded Project Octopath Traveler demo, which is free. So I played a little bit of Celeste, and it's really, really good so far. I'll let you know what I think about that next show.
I have been super busy with non-gaming stuff the last 2 weeks, creating podcasts and editing podcasts and stuff. But in preparation for a podcast that I slept through, which we'll reschedule for another day.
You slept through a podcast?
We were going to record Narrative Adventure last Friday, but I kind of had a headache, and I didn't know when exactly we were going to start. So I was like, I'm going to go take a nap. And then, like, by the time I woke up, Darren was like, I need to go to bed now. So that didn't happen.
Yeah,
but
he had a rough week, though, so I wasn't, like, upset or anything.
Yeah, I worked 2 11-hour days without breaks. It was not fun. But I did a replay of What Remains of Edith Finch, and honestly, I wish I did that sooner, because knowing where the story goes, like, you notice so many, like, foreshadowing and really cool things. That I kind of was like, oh, that's totally setting up that thing later, and that's doing that, like, so many things that I never picked up the first time. And also there was somebody in my chat who was I streamed it, and they I guess they looked into the game a little bit more, and it was like, oh, that one person probably died from this. Like, they kind of pulled back the curtain more than the game does, and was kind of cool to, like, oh, that would totally make sense. So if you have played What Remains of Edith Finch and you loved it, replay it, because the second time around you see so many things you didn't notice the first time. It's very cool. But some point in the next month or so, you'll get a full podcast about that video game whenever the time comes. But let's get into the news. Speaking of Destiny 2, whenever there's big Destiny 2 news, I like to put it in. I feel like people want to hear Teddy's expert opinion, so give me your expert opinion about the big update of 2018.
Expert opinion. Well, hold up. The first big update of 2018. Okay, so my expert opinion is that we're not going to talk about the article that's in here. We're going to talk about the This Week at Bungie, which is the source material that this article is about. The TWAB this week was really good. It was a lot better than last week's TWAB, which was like, I think it was Josh Hamrick last week's TWAB, or 2 weeks ago now, was at the end of the TWAB, he literally had a thing that was like, and our sandbox team is really, we're really working hard to provide, like, the best things for you. It was a well-intentioned thing, but it sounded very condescending. Like, it sounded like he didn't read the tone of the room, which right now, if you guys don't know, the tone of the room for the Destiny community is real bad. It's not good. So that wasn't great. But this week, legit, like, it's super good. They were very clear that, like, this is coming the 30th. We're talking about what's coming after this. Like, the Iron Banner changes are really good. Let me actually pull up the article here. The Iron Banner armor, by the way, the Iron Banner ornament armor looks fantastic. Like, so ornaments just change, like, a set of, like, you'll have a helmet. If you put an ornament on it, changes how it looks a little bit. So it's already, like, kind of, like, samurai sort of themed, right? But if you put the ornament on, specifically a Titan, which is what I main, it looks so good. And so that's good. Let's see here. So June, or the 30th, June. January 30th is the main update is Iron Banner's coming out, but that's not really too much of an update. The main update is the raid rewards and the new raid mods that you're going to get. So you can now, and also Masterwork armor, which was a big thing for legendary weapons that added a good chase for hardcore players. So the Masterwork armor is coming on the 30th, which is really, really good. That's going to give people something to chase for. And now there are raid mods. So they gave an example called Emperor's Blaze. While on the Leviathan, your solar abilities deal 25% more damage. So that's the Leviathan raid and the Eater of Worlds raid layer. It works on both. And then they also have a Void one and an Arc one, which we assume does the exact same thing. 25% more damage is a big deal. That's like a good thing for the Leviathan raid, especially for solar. Like, for those of you who don't know, there's a helmet called the Celestial Nighthawk, which turns your golden gun ability, which is usually like 3 shots, into 1 shot. That's really, really powerful. So if you combine the golden gun, the Celestial Nighthawk with this, 25% more damage, that's gonna hit real hard. A whole team of that, like stuff like that, is what we want. We want new things to try out. So let's see what else. Every raid encounter is now going to drop something. The raid vendor, Benedict, is going to sell rotating gear every week, I believe. There's a new exotic raid ghost, which is going to drop, and they said it was more at the rarity of the Nano Phoenix ship from Wrath of the Machine, which was the ship that dropped on Axis. Now we're getting super into the weeds. The ship in Destiny 1 from Rise of Iron that dropped on Axis in Wrath of the Machine on hard mode. And it was very rare, but it looked dope. But I ran that raid like 20-something times, and I never saw it drop for anyone. Like, in my group, I never saw it drop. So they said it's going to be more along the lines of that, but, with more of a chance. So all in all, they also said they're evaluating shaders. Yeah, they said they're evaluating shaders, which I'm somebody who still thinks the shader system really needs to be changed. So they said they're evaluating that. They're thinking about it. Maybe even they could go back to Destiny 1, how those shaders worked. And that's pretty much it. So the raid rewards are going to be much better. The actual mods are going to make an impact, so you're going to want to run the raid to get the mods. You're going to want to run the raid to get Masterwork, raid armor as well, because Masterworks is something you want to chase. And the exotic ghost is pretty dope. Also, stay tuned Wednesday, which, this upcoming Wednesday, they're going to release the second part of the comic, the webcomic that they're doing. So, a lot of good stuff on the Destiny front.
Podcast comes out?
I believe it's Wednesday the 31st, January 31st.
So 2 days ago, look out for...
Yeah, it's already out.
So it'll already be out, yeah.
Okay.
So
go check it.
It's a lot of good news. A lot of people are like, this is going to bring players back. No, it's really not, which is fine. I think this is for the people still playing. This is for people like me who I want to run the raids. So now if I go back and maybe can manage to get people together, then it's like, hey guys, there's actual reasons. Like, you'll get cool shit, right? So they really need to be making changes like these constantly. For the next year, they need to be making changes like this. Like, this is a really good, small first step. But if they keep the communication up like they've been doing, Deej and his team have been doing a great job. Christopher Barrett is great at communicating what needs to be said in a great manner. I'm telling you, Destiny 2 is going to look a whole lot different this time next year. For sure. And the community.
Are they ever going to get to the point where Destiny 1 is now?
Eventually.
Maybe.
Eventually we'll have, stuff that we already have in Destiny 1. Like private games.
Okay. Thank you for our Destiny 2 expert. Do you have any tips on that recipe we were working on?
So you need to get a bowl out of the pantry now, right?
Okay.
And
wait, what if I didn't get a a box of cereal?
Well, that was definitely part of the recipe. That was like the main ingredient.
My store didn't have it.
Oh, okay. Well, drive to the next Walmart and hope. All right,
Cross
just
your
keep up the hunt, man. It's important. It's very important. So you get a bowl out from your pantry, you put a spoon in there, and then you get the box off of the thing. You set the box right next to it. You open up the box, open the bag. Stay tuned for the next step later on.
Okay.
Cry.
While we wait on that, we're going to shoot over to our PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds expert, Darrian, because we've got two pieces of news for her to talk about. Why don't you give us that?
Well, we got 2 new PUBG newses. On the PC specifically, we've got a couple of things changing how the game's gonna progress, and also how it's affecting the servers. So the game's gonna progress differently because the blue zone is gonna be slower but deadlier. This is to make it less clunky and less likely that the zone's gonna kill you, and to force more player engagement so that it's more gunfights, more interactions, I guess, with the players, not just dying to the zone, which I do a lot. So I'm grateful for this. So basically they're going to slightly decrease the waiting time of the blue zones in the mid to late phase of the match. They're going to decrease the shrinking speed of the blue zones in mid to late phase. So they'll move at a slower speed, and the travel time of the blue zones has slightly increased. So I don't really exactly know how that translates, because that sounds like a contradiction to me. But I'm excited to see the change in game.
Isn't that just like longer time between timers, but when it's actually started moving, it go faster? Is that?
So it says the blue zone moves at a slower speed, but it also, so the travel time is slightly increased. To me, that's the same thing. It's moving at a slower speed. The travel time is increased. Like, I guess I don't.
I'm guessing that means that the timer between movements is longer. But then once it actually starts moving, it's faster. So it's
going to move faster,
yeah,
sure.
It gives you more time to plan out your thing than when it actually starts going.
Right. And then the last blue zone is going to have increased damage, which I'm thinking they did so that it's harder for you to like use a med kit or a first aid kit to out-survive your opponent, which I've seen in a few games. It's kind of bullshit. It's really cool to watch because it's hard to time. But I've seen a match where it was one person versus another person in the last zone, and it started to close. So the person stepped into the blue zone for a split second to take damage, and then started medding as soon as the blue zone was supposed to close in. So then by the time it hit him and he was chunked to like a quarter health, he went back to full health with the med kit and then did it again, and he just out-survived the other person, which is dumb, but they're making it harder to do that, I'm guessing, so that it's like you're forced to go into a gunfight, not, whoever's eliminated first loses. So that should help with more player interaction. So that'll be fun. And then the other one is they're removing guns from the starting area. This is specifically in the first map, because in the new map, the Mexican map, they don't have them already.
The desert map. Let's
it's
call
in Mexico. No, because the first one is in Russia and the second one is in Mexico. Like, that's
true.
Their names are like,
okay.
So on the Mexico map, they don't have guns. I don't regret that. That's not like hateful. Like, that's
it's a fact. It's the Mexico map. Yeah.
Mexico map. Yeah.
On the Mexico map, they already don't have it, but they're going to remove it from the Russian map as well, because it's easier on the servers, and they're also planning on having different starting zones so that not all 99 to 100 people are in one tiny spot. They're going to have multiple starting areas so that it's a little bit easier on the server and easier on the people loading in as well. So that should be pretty awesome. I'm excited for that because I don't like loading in really slowly and just hearing gunshots all around me all the time. Like, that's kind of irritating, especially when I'm having trouble loading in. So hopefully this alleviates that problem and makes it a little bit more accessible to more people. So that'll be pretty exciting.
I think that spreading them out is nice. Server load issue, but removing the guns entirely, like, for new players who haven't been playing the entire time, like, that area gives them a way to try out the guns.
Well, And that's, I think, originally what the design was for.
Yeah.
But the problem now is, like, whoever's loading in first gets to go around and just spam bullets. So, like, the whole purpose of it was kind of eliminated. So I understand why they're removing it. Like, the original idea behind it was really good, but it wasn't executed very well. So people just, like, one of my teammates likes to just rush over to the crossbow and shoot us in the face with crossbow bolts so that when we are falling, we can see the crossbow bolts in our face, in our peripherals, and just in the way. It's a fun way to troll your team, but, like, it's you know, it's not as effective as it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
so
it would be nice if they took that area and as it is and just made it like a shooting range area that you can access by yourself, so you can try out
like
all the guns.
Yeah, like a testing thing that you can choose to load into and specifically go and test out the guns. That would be nice, because like whenever I find a car 98K, I'm just like, I don't know how to use this gun. I find it once every like 50 matches, so I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, and by the time, like, if you're not experienced with gun handling in that game, like when you're in a firefight, you don't have time to learn. You like if they know how to shoot and you don't, you're dead. You get no practice. So that having some sort of area, if not in the loading area, in a separate deal, so that people can practice the guns, should be there. But I can understand removing it from the actual, like, everybody's here, this is hard on the servers. But we have some other news. Epic Games is shutting down Paragon.
Oh man, this was so weird. This is such a weird story.
This is a crossover of both Teddy and Darrian territory. Epic Games makes Fortnite, and Paragon is a MOBA. Oh my gosh.
Well, I also have played Paragon.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's more Teddy territory.
Fine.
I do find it weird too, though. It's like
It's weird. There's never been, as far as I'm aware, like, I don't think there's ever been a case exactly like this, where it's a big multiplayer game, they have a community, like, they've been building the game together, and then the story is that they are shutting the game down. They're also offering full refunds.
I honestly didn't care that much about Paragon. I wasn't going to include it, but I feel like the fact that they're giving full refunds needs to be mentioned.
I mean, also the fact that they're shutting it down is insane. I mean, the game's not out. It never came out. Yet. It's been in early access, like, this whole time. And, like, it has a dedicated community. People, like, really were into it. But basically they were like, it comes down to the reality that another one of our products is doing better and we need to put our resources there. Which is, like, I mean, it makes sense, but also, like,
so they're really? Like, fuck Paragon, we're gonna focus on Fortnite, basically.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. That's dumb. But I mean, honestly, when I think about it, like, Riot Games has one game, League of Legends. They don't have any other games. So I can't really blame them. Like, coming from a MOBA perspective, like, I mean, there's a lot of balancing and a lot of effort that goes into taking care of a MOBA and keeping it active and healthy and progressing. So for a game like Fortnite to come into their focus, it's probably good for them to just switch over to it instead of try to, like, divide their stuff. Like, that would eventually mean death for their game in a way less, I guess, respectful way.
Yes. I mean, for Paragon to grow, it needed more resources and more people to work on it. But it wasn't growing, and it wasn't providing the revenue that they needed. So they decided the game that is growing, they're going to put the people that were working on the, like, failing, which is, like, it wasn't bombing, you know, it was still doing okay. But in comparison to Fortnite, which was, like, blowing up, they were like, I guess we have to put these people over here. Which is just crazy. But I'm sad to see it go. I liked Paragon mechanically. I think that game feels like a third-person shooter with some of the characters, and it's a MOBA. Like, it's very much a MOBA. And it did a really good job, like, with controllers. It felt great. But it still captured that feel. But my complaint was the same complaint I have with most MOBAs, was that, like, you know how in League, games are 45 minutes average, an hour long. Mm-hmm. Like, when I was playing, I'm sure it changed because of, like, different metas, but when I was playing Paragon, the games were commonly an hour. like most of the games I played were an hour, and I'm like, geez, man, like, really? So I couldn't do it, but it's a good game. Paragon was good. I like the verticality of it. It's sad to see it go. Really weird.
Yeah,
at least they're doing right by their community and offering full refunds.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's really awesome of them. Probably because they can afford it, because Fortnite is just exploded.
Yeah, they can afford it, and they also know that, like, out of the amount of people that spent money on that, the amount of people that are going to see this news story and see that they are offering full refunds is going to be way less.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a ton of casual people that saw it on the store, saw the Founders Pack, and was like, oh, that looks cool, $40, $20, sure. And then they played it a bit and never went back to it. So, like, that's it. They got their $20. So.
Right.
So yeah, that's interesting bit of news. Another thing is Facebook's already in the live streaming business. You'll see people, you'll see like moms pop up and be like, "Oh, look at my live stream. I'm selling makeup," or just. Yeah, that's like 90% of the like so and so's live streaming. I see like people selling their Sensi or whatever like businesses they do. But Facebook is trying to incentivize gamers, live streamers to play their games on Facebook by offering monetization. Which will allow people to donate to the streamer, tip their streamer through Facebook. Right now it's super basic.
They don't have like subscribing or anything like that. They just have basic tipping, and it's not available to everybody yet. They're just testing it out, but they're hoping in the future that they'll be able to implement and basically be a competitor for YouTube and Twitch, which, I mean, I could see them doing it, not for gaming so much.
I said this when everyone was talking about YouTube gaming. I'll say it again. Good luck dethroning Twitch.
I feel like YouTube gaming hasn't really, like, there's a few that'll come out,
audience,
like,
but
I know a few, like, bigger YouTubers that use it for their live streams and stuff, but they're already, like, established. Like, I've never, I don't know. I just feel like it's not good.
To dethrone Twitch, you need to come out with all of the features that Twitch has and more.
And then some, Yeah,
so and you can't start below them. Everyone's going to laugh and just keep going with what they have. Yeah. You have to start at them and then go more. Like, I don't know. There's so many people that are trying to compete, and it's like, maybe in the long run, one of these is just slowly going to take over. I mean, Mixer's getting more popular. Like, I guess some people, like... The thing is like, as time goes on, there's more people that want to stream in general. So there's more chance for people to go to other platforms. So, I don't know. Good luck. It's very interesting. Very interesting. We'll check back in a year.
Yeah, I don't associate the Facebook audience with the kind of audience who would accept gaming live streams. So I can't see that being successful. And when you've got
to be fair, they already have, like, I mean, IGN does their live streams on Facebook as well as IGN and YouTube. IGN, Twitch, YouTube as well. So, I mean, there is an audience.
Those are all established platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
People that's experiencing overflow from those websites that are already established.
Yeah, I just don't think it's safe to say that the Facebook audience isn't for that. Like, I'm on Facebook. I use Facebook.
Yeah, but
I don't use Facebook for that.
Would you want to watch a live stream on Facebook?
Sometimes it pops up. IGN's pops up, and I watch a couple of minutes because it's just there.
Right.
Like,
just
I don't know.
Just but I don't make a point to, like, this person's streaming.
And I don't think that's ever going to happen until, like, the long, maybe, future. You know?
Maybe, yeah.
I think there's people who might be starting who will go, hey, here's a new community that I can establish myself on, and that might be something, but it seems like Mixer or YouTube would be a better choice than Facebook. Yeah. Okay, this is really cool. Nintendo reveals Labo, a do-it-yourself build and play experience for the Switch. Basically, so that people have talked about it since the Switch was first announced, with the way the Switch controllers work of just kind of clipping it on there. Like, people were like, are they going to make custom controllers for games that can just slide in? And it turns out, no, they're going to give you cardboard to put your controller in. Teddy's showing off that you can slide the...
It's pretty impressive.
Okay.
It's really neat. I feel like by the time this comes out, this is going to be super old news, so I don't really think we need to elaborate too much on it, because I feel like everybody...
Nintendo Labo, Nintendo has the confidence to be weird again. They're being real weird. They're being just real kind Nintendo with this. I don't know. If I was a kid, I would love this. It's for kids and for kids at heart. They said like before they even announced it.
Right.
That like it makes sense. I mean, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not super excited, but I will say the main thing. I love the idea, but like cardboard.
Yeah,
the cardboard.
I don't think I trust like placing my Switch in this cardboard thing you're selling me. Like I've seen like the backpack or whatever, and I'm just like, there's no fucking way that I would put my Switch in that. Like
I just don't
not
see
happening.
How some kid isn't gonna get it, put on the robot thing, and then fall onto his couch and break it, and be like, oh well, gotta go spend $70 or whatever for another one. And I guess that's where they're going to make all their money, but...
Right. I imagine it's sturdy cardboard. It's not that... You can have very thick cardboard, but just the, like... They've shown the innards of those things, and it looks like it will take hours to assemble it. But I will say, the fact... Like, I'm watching just a GIF of the backpack, and they just have the Wiimote just kind of stuck in there, and it can sense... all of your movements because of it, and I don't know how they made it work. Just the like ingenuity to make the Joy-Con just figure it all out is insane for all of these. The piano, how it can tell the individual piano keys is buck wild, but it is definitely like a gimmick. It is something that very small group is going to check out.
I will be excited to see people play with it, but I ain't rich, dog.
I feel like it's gonna kind of, I feel like the way that it's gonna happen is just the same way that it was announced when it first comes out, when it's first available. Whoever can is gonna get their hands on it. They're gonna rush to it. They're gonna cover it. Everybody's gonna have it, whatever. But then it's gonna die down pretty quickly, because like the news when they first announced it, for like the first 3 days. I could not go on Twitter because all I would see was Nintendo Labo and references to Nintendo Labo. And I was like, okay, I get it. This is coming. Cool. But then after that, it's like, well, I've seen a few posts here and there, but it's pretty much died. The excitement has died down. I feel like when it comes out, it's going to be a similar thing because once everything's discovered, and I feel like a lot of it's already been revealed, the only fun you're going to have with it is experiencing it yourself. So... I feel
I don't even think everyone's gonna get on it. Like
I'm not gonna get on it.
The media is gonna get on it, and parents and kids, and like some people just to like mess around with it. But like I feel like the majority of people are just gonna ignore it. Like I saw a lot of people talking about it for the first couple of days as well, but most of it, a lot of maybe not most, but a lot of people that were talking about it were just like, this is cool. Not sure if I'm gonna get it, but it's cool. If I was a kid, I would love this, that type of stuff. So I hope kids have a blast with this. I hope they run around, be a robot. Be fun. I would have loved to have done that.
I really like how it works. It like the robot thing takes motion control to the 10th degree of just like you punch.
It literally like has strings attached to the thing and all that. It's crazy. But yeah, it's cool.
Right now, their product line consists of 2 kits. The Variety Kit, which includes the house, which I don't know what that is, the RC car, the fishing rod, the motorbike, and the piano. And we've seen mostly the actual cardboard stuff. We haven't seen how are the games actually fun. I think that is really what's going to matter. if the games are fun, maybe people buy it for that extra gameplay mechanic. But if they're not fun, it really doesn't matter. And the robot kit, which is just the robot suit, which is a very big thing, and that one is $7.99. Now, in the little trailer, they did show off some other Labo creations which are not featured in any of these two kits. So we'll probably see other kits down the line, but unless it does really well,
yeah,
unless it does really well, we won't.
So it looks cool, looks all gimmicky, looks for kids, which is fine. But let's talk about something industry changing. That's not how you would say that, but still, this could very well change the entire video game industry because it's crazy, y'all. Xbox Game Pass came out and said that Larry Herb, Major Nelson, came out and said that the Xbox Game Pass will feature all Microsoft Studio Xbox exclusives on the day they launch. So if you pay $10 a month, let's say you pay for Game Pass for a year, right? That's $120. That is the price of two $60 games. And with that, you are getting Sea of Thieves on the day it comes out, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3, and whatever else they want to launch this year. And also, over 100 games. I got Game Pass the day they announced this, and I went on and downloaded a bunch of games, and I went through the list. I downloaded 15 games that I was all like, oh yeah, this one, I've heard this is great. I've heard this is really good. They had all of the Gears of War, which, I've played them all, but if you pay $10 and spend a month, you can go through the entirety of Gears of War, even with four's on there. Game Pass is insane, and it's a great deal, and I'm very excited, because now I'm going to get to play Sea of Thieves and State of Decay when I wasn't sure about it before, and PlayStation, please, but they're never going to, and that's okay, I guess.
Isn't View never mind. Nope, never mind.
PlayStation Now is something similar, but you stream the games. Whereas Game Pass, it's just a list of games you can download. Whereas Now is this streaming service, which has latency, which I use PlayStation Now.
It's great.
I used it for The Walking Dead Season 1, the PS3 version, even though I had played the PS4 version because I wanted another platinum. And it's a free platinum. Oh my god. And I used the 7-day free trial to get that.
Nice.
So, Giant Bomb made a very interesting point about this. How this will affect DLC. Because
it's so cheap.
So
they got to do other things.
It is more economical. It would make more sense for people to just, get the Game Pass when they want to play a first-party game. So is Microsoft going to assume that people are going to be getting their games that way? And if so, how does DLC work? Do you have to buy the DLC for a game you don't technically own? You're basically renting it for this thing, and then you have to buy the DLC. Are they going to be trying to
say at a discount? Game Pass, if there's a game on Game Pass and you're playing it, they also tell you when it's going to expire, when it's going to be off the service, and then you can buy it for I think it's 10% or 20, not 20%, but 10% off. They give you a discount and you can buy it. So if you are having fun with the game and then it's going to leave, then you can buy it, which is good. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting how this, if this sets a trend, it could have huge waves.
The thing is I don't think it's going to, because I don't think the other companies don't need to do this. And Xbox, I don't even think needed to do this. I know that they're behind Sony and all that, but this is crazy. Just calm down. You don't have to do this. It's okay. But they did it anyways. So who knows? I think it could influence other people in the future, but I don't think PlayStation or Nintendo are gonna do anything like this anytime soon.
Nintendo isn't. Yeah, Nintendo doesn't even have their virtual console. They're not doing shit.
Nintendo doesn't even have their online service up and running that they said would be in 2018.
But if this sells Xboxes, then that's really what Microsoft needs.
Yeah.
we have an additional story.
Yeah,
added.
this is an additional one that's literally going to take me like 2 seconds because I'm going to say this Tuesday, which by the time this comes out, it will have already been out, and all of these details will be out, and I'm sure we'll talk about them next time, or I will. They're having the official Blizzard Battle for Azeroth, which is the next World of Warcraft expansion, Q&A with Ian Hazakostas, who I believe is the game director of World of Warcraft, and they're sitting down and having the Q&A, which most people believe that this is where a lot of the community thinks this is where they're going to announce the pre-purchase and the alpha dates when they're going to start the closed alpha. And also, a lot of people think that the Alliance, what is it called? Allied races. The Allied races, which are like variants of some of the races you can play. Like you're going to be able to play as like, I think one of them's like a high mountain and stuff like that. One of them is a void elf, which looks crazy. But yeah, so you can play as these allied races, and a lot of people were theorizing that they were going to come with the pre-purchase for Battle for Azeroth. So maybe they'll talk about that a little bit. I'm very excited about it. And maybe dates? Probably not dates, but yeah. So I'll let you know next show.
Okay. Can you also let me know what I'm doing with my cereal?
So you're pouring the cereal now into the bowl that has the spoon in it, right? So you're pouring it in there.
Wait, I was supposed to put the spoon in the bowl?
It's optional. You don't have to. You can wait until the cereal's in there. That's fine. But you pour the cereal in, and then you open your fridge. You get the 2% milk out of the fridge, right? Okay. No other types of milk are allowed here.
I wasn't told to pick that up in the ingredients list.
You're right. I effed up. Okay, I'm gonna need you to drive to Walmart again. Go back to Walmart. Get a gallon of 2% milk. Come on back. Pour it in.
2%.
2%. No other milk will work.
I'm not making this.
2%, and then you
what
fill
kind of
it
milk
up
do you
like.
use?
Say the bowl is
I
like
just use
this.
1%.
Say the bowl is like this. You fill the milk. The cereal's like to here, right? You fill
great
the
for
milk
the
up
audio
to
listeners.
like there. Okay, so cereal about 3/4, milk about a little over a half, right? And then you dunk some of the cereal in there, and you take a spoonful and you enjoy.
Okay.
That's about it.
Well,
Darren, do you have anything else to add to make that cereal better? This dish better?
Don't get the cereal to eat it. Go get Lucky Charms instead.
But then it's not gaming inspired. I would agree, though.
Just
Lucky
get
Charms
the
is
box.
pretty good.
Just get the box and look at it as you're eating Lucky Charms and be like, this is the Mario cereal.
That's great advice. Bryce is going to get something.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bryce got some.
Hey, there you go.
He was snapping me updates. It was great.
There you go. And now he can't put his earbuds back in.
I did get...
Yeah, he's ready for the dish.
I did get Super Mario cereal. It is very bad. Do not eat this food.
Sorry, Nintendo and Kellogg's.
Sorry, I led you wrong,
gross.
guys.
Here's the Scam the Amiibo deal. Just have that. Don't just take your Switch to the grocery store and just push it against the thing. Because
I bet
this
someone's done that.
tasted bad.
Oh yeah, I know people who did that.
That's shitty. Okay, ready for moving on.
Topic of the show. Tots.
It's just gonna be shorter because I said I had a cut off at 9 o'clock and it's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta move it.
With Paragon shutting down and other big game big games shutting down will often shut down an entire developer. Do you think it is harder for AAA games to thrive in this generation?
No.
Okay, Darrian.
I think they're here, go ahead.
I don't have an opinion.
Okay,
Or-
Teddy.
So
I think there are more AAA games than ever coming out constantly. I think there's more of an audience for games, which also means there's going to be more examples of failure. But I think overall we've seen way more success stories of AAA games coming out than failures. Come on, son. Like some of the failures would be Fable Legends shut down Lionhead Studios. They canceled that game. They shut down that studio. But like some of the successes are, all of the Call of Duties, like most of the stuff that Ubisoft puts out, like in general, like there hasn't been, the only flop I can remember from Ubisoft from recent memory is For Honor. And they're still shoveling money into that. They're coming out with dedicated servers recently. But most of Ubisoft stuff, even if it doesn't land originally at launch, they continue to support it until like it has a massive audience. Like, massive studios, they develop The Division. So yeah, no, I don't think so. I think and also with social media and stuff, you just see more examples of it now than you would have before.
I suppose. I feel like the indie games are doing very, very well, especially with Switch, and it seems like it's a lot easier to make an indie game successful. I mean, it obviously,
for sure.
I mean, it has a smaller team. It takes less to be successful, but
yeah, if you're looking at the whole of AAA games that are successful to the whole of indie games that are successful, AAA way surpasses, because indie games come out every day on your phone and on Steam, and like there are so few success stories of indie games in comparison to how many come out like all the time. Like Stardew Valley is a very a rare case compared to Watch Dogs and Shadow of War. Like those are pretty common if you look at the types of games they are.
I suppose.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely do see shutdowns, but I mean, if you probably figure out last 3 years the amount of games who have succeeded versus the amount that have utterly failed, it's probably way more successes than failures.
Yeah.
But yeah,
glass half full,
It does really suck when like Andromeda.
Yeah.
Whatever that series. Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, that
I thought you were trying to think of BioWare Edmonton or whatever, however you say that.
Well, didn't that game tank that studio?
The studio? Yeah, it did.
So yeah, it seems like when a AAA game fails, it'll
also,
really fail.
I'm pretty sure Edmonton didn't close, but they like sent most of the people working at Edmonton to work at the main studio that is now working on Anthem.
I thought most of them got laid off and then they just kind of pushed.
I'm pretty sure most of them they moved most of them to Anthem and laid off some.
I hope so.
I'm not 100% on that.
I hope that most of them got transitioned over to Anthem. And I will, since we're talking about Anthem did get pushed back to 2019, so
that's true.
We'll have to wait.
Who would have seen that coming?
Darrian.
Literally everyone. That game was not coming out in 2018.
So, Darrian, talk about that for a second while I try and check the questions.
Okay. Talk about what?
Your favorite AAA game that has failed horribly. Okay.
Whoa!
There's no questions.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Perfect. So do you... Moving on to questions. Do you want to be part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite type of cat for us to read on the show.
Hairless. Just kidding. Those are horrifying.
What? No, Sphinxes are best cat.
Hairless cats give me nightmares.
Oh my god, I want a Sphinx cat so bad.
Okay.
I'm getting one. I guilted David into getting me one.
Oh my god.
So we're going to have a Sphinx cat.
Rats.
They're so cute. And you can put little clothes on them.
Oh, they look like old ladies too, with their faces all wrinkled.
They're so cute.
How many animals do you have right now?
3. We're planning on getting a bird and a snake. And a Sphinx cat in the future.
I saw a dog at work today. Somebody came and wanted to eat at the restaurant. We had to open the patio for him because they had a dog, and it was like this big old basset hound and like floppy ears. It was great. It was great. I got to pet a dog at work today. It was a pretty good day.
Those are the best days.
So stay tuned for future episodes of We Bought a Zoo starring Darrian.
One day I'm gonna have basically a zoo of animals.
Apparently.
There's so many different animals that I want.
But there was surprisingly no questions. Yuri, I guess, was sleeping on
Yuri
this one.
gives us 6 questions for one
Yuri's
episode.
probably out of questions.
Yeah.
They've answered everything at this point.
I don't know why he doesn't space them out. Just ask one a week, and then you have them for eternity, you know?
That's what we should
He
do.
just needs our opinions just right now.
That's true. We could have done that ourselves.
Well, he asked the questions. I want to give him his answers as soon as possible. But with no questions, that moves us on to housekeeping. Remember, go to ReadySetGamecast.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on YouTube. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. Did
Wasn't
your
it a
finger
pinky
just
last
pop?
week?
No,
it was my
my
elbow.
finger's flexing.
Both of my elbows popped.
Oh, that was you? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Darrian, where can people find you?
At my house.
Gross.
But don't.
But don't.
I mean, you can, but don't.
What's that address?
About that. I twitch.tv/dexterity, but it's spelled wrong. And also Instagram and my Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, those are the ones.
Teddy Chinaris.
Twitch. Oh, what?
Dexterity.com.
Oh yeah, I have a website now. Dexterity.com.
It's fancy.
Teddy Chinaris.
On twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris, but not nearly as much as I used to, because holy shit, college is kicking my ass and I'm working more than usual this semester. So far, it's come to like I'm streaming basically Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, but Wednesdays are kind of up in the air. Thursdays definitely, Fridays definitely, and Saturdays. So usually it's like 4 days a week, unless I did math wrong, which is why I'm struggling in math. And yeah, so just go to twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris, click the Discord link in the announcements channel every night before I go live, or before it gets close to night. I'll say if I'm gonna be live or not.
Or just click on the follow thing, click the little down thing, and click notifications. So you'll get a little notification.
You can do that too.
Do it.
And also twitter.com/Teddy Chinaris. So you can also look it up on YouTube. I really want to put a video on YouTube. Like I haven't edited something in so long. I want to actually edit something, but I have no time. And the time that I do have, I stream.
Want to edit this podcast?
Not that. No.
Okay.
No, I'll pass on that one. Yeah, that's where you can find me. You can also find me at your local Dunkin' Donuts.
Bagel Boy.
So I have a lot of things to promote this time.
It's a restaurant.
So me and Beckers have started a video game company / podcast called Gamemate Corp, where we talk about video game ideas and how they'll make awesome video games. We put up episode 0 of the podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/lastgeek. Where we talk about such things as someone having to get you home on time by any means necessary, Mario and Sonic kissing, and Sims Go, which may or may not involve kidnapping people.
I'm sure Mario and Sonic have already kissed.
Probably in somewhere they have kissed. But go on YouTube and check that out. It'll eventually be on iTunes once we have some more episodes to put on there. I am also very, very close to releasing my zombie story podcast called Dead Air. I have a Patreon set up for it, patreon.com/deadair. So if you want to throw me a couple dollars over there, maybe you'll have your name on an episode, and get episodes early and all the cool stuff.
I just want to be in it.
So check that out. But otherwise, stay tuned for, or just check out all of my ramblings on Twitter at Last Geek. Once again, youtube.com/lastgeek, lastgeek.com. Instagram is lastgeekplays, and my Twitch is lastgeekplays. But I think that's all the projects I'm working on right now. So that concludes this episode of Ready Set Gamecast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Watch Marvel's Runaways on Hulu. It's really good. Bye.